Hello all and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chandramani Pandey and thank you very much for watching my other videos. I am hoping that my videos are adding some values in your day-to-day Intune operation work. Please consider subscribing my channel. By subscribing, you will get access to new videos as soon as they are uploaded, and it's a great way to stay up to date with my content and support me at the same time. Now let's start today's module. So today we are going to talk about Windows Auto Patch, which is a future of patch management through Intune. So in this module, we are going to start with Windows Auto Patch introduction and what are the pros and cons of Windows Auto Patch. Then we'll talk about update management with Auto Patch and the overall implementation plan and what are the prerequisites to implement the Windows Auto Patch. And then we'll talk about what is the readiness assessment tool and how you can enroll the tenant in Windows Auto Patch. Then we are going to talk about how to deploy Windows Auto Patch. Then we'll talk about what are the prerequisites Windows Auto Patch is checking during device registration. And then we'll talk about software update management, which includes Windows quality update, Windows feature update, Microsoft 365 app for enterprise, Microsoft Edge, Microsoft Team. Then we'll talk about deployment ring calculation logic, and in last I will be performing end-to-end implementation of Windows Auto Patch, including end user experience and how we can generate a report for Windows Auto Patch. Now let's see what is Windows Auto Patch. So Windows Auto Patch is a cloud service that automates Windows, Microsoft 365 apps for enterprise, Microsoft Edge and Microsoft Team updates to improve security and productivity across your organization. Windows Auto Patch help you to minimize the involvement of your IT resources in the planning and deployment of update for Windows, Microsoft 365 apps, Microsoft Edge and Teams. By crafting careful rollout sequence and communicating with you throughout the release, your IT admins can focus on other activity and tasks. Now let's discuss about the Windows Auto Patch pros and cons. So with respect to advantage of Windows Auto Patch, this provides the ability to use ring deployment methods to manage your Windows environment, as well as Microsoft is managing the orchestration for patch deployment on devices, which will reduce the burden from IT admins. And with respect to Windows Auto Patch disadvantage, this feature is only useful for Windows 10 and Windows 11 devices. Autopatch support for Windows Server is not on the Microsoft roadmap. You must use the feature in conjunction with Azure Active Directory and Intune. And the last, Windows Auto Patch is of no use to those with Mac or Linux operating system. Now let's talk about the update management using Windows Auto Patch. So the goal of Windows Auto Patch is to deliver software update to registered devices. The service frees up IT and minimizing disruptions to your end users. Once a device is registered with service, Windows Auto Patch takes on several areas of management. And these management areas are Windows quality update, Windows feature update, Microsoft 365 app for enterprise, Microsoft Edge and Microsoft Team. So with respect to Windows quality update, Windows Auto Patch aim is to keep at least 95% of your eligible device on the latest Windows quality update 21 days after release. With respect to Windows feature update, Windows Auto Patch aim is to keep at least 99% of eligible device on a supported version of Windows so that they can be continue receiving Windows feature update. With respect to Microsoft 365 app for enterprise, Windows Auto Patch aim is to keep at least 90% of eligible device on a supported version of monthly enterprise channel. With respect to Microsoft Edge, Windows Auto Patch configures eligible device to benefit from Microsoft Edge progressive rollout on the stable channel. And with respect to Microsoft Teams, Windows Auto Patch allows eligible device to benefit from the standard automatic update channel. Now let's see some of the key points related to update management using Windows Auto Patch. So for each management area, there is a set of eligibility requirements that determines if the device will receive the specific update. For an example, an eligibility criteria is that the device must have the access to required network endpoints for the Windows Auto Patch. It's your responsibility to ensure that devices are meeting eligible requirements for each management areas. So to determine if we are meeting our service level objectives, all eligible devices are labeled as either healthy or unhealthy. Healthy devices are meeting the eligibility requirements for the management area and unhealthy devices are not. If Windows Auto Patch falls below any service level objective for a management area, an incident is created and then Microsoft brings the service back into the compliance. While an update is in progress, it is monitored by Windows Auto Patch. Depending on the criticality of the update, the service may decide to expedite the update. If Microsoft detects an issue during release, Microsoft may pause or roll back the update. Now let's see the Windows Auto Patch implementation overall plan. So we can divide the Windows Auto Patch implementation in three phases. The very first phase is the planning phase. The second one is the deploying the auto patch service, and the third phase is the operational phase. So with respect to Windows Auto Patch planning phase, we have to configure the prerequisites and then we have to configure the network required to implement the Windows Auto Patch, and then we have to enroll the tenant, and last we have to fix the issue found by the readiness assistant tool. In deployment phase, we have to add and verify the admin contacts, and then we have to register the device in Auto Patch service. And in operate phase, we have to monitor the update management, maintain the Windows Auto Patch environment, and for fixing any issues, we have to submit a support request. And if we want to unenroll the device in Windows Auto Patch, we have to deregister the device in Windows Auto Patch service. Now let's discuss about the Windows Auto Patch prerequisites. The very first prerequisite is the licensing requirement, and with respect to licensing requirement, Windows Auto Patch requires Windows 10 or 11 Enterprise E3 or higher license to be assigned to the user, or Microsoft 365 E3 E5, Windows 10 or 11 Enterprise E3 E5, or Windows 10 or 11 Enterprise VDA service plan SKU that are eligible for Windows Auto Patch. Windows operating system 10 edition 1809 or above, or Win 11 build for Pro, and Windows 10 1809 or above, and Windows 11 Enterprise and Windows 10 1809 or above, and Windows 11 Pro for workstation is eligible for Windows Auto Patch. And additionally, we should have Azure Active Directory premium license as well as the Microsoft Intune. With respect to Active Directory requirement, Azure Active Directory must either be a source of authority for all the accounts, or user account must be synchronized from on-premises Active Directory using the latest supported version of Azure Active Directory Connect to enable hybrid Azure Active Directory join. With respect to Configuration Manager co-management requirement, we should use a currently supported Configuration Manager version, and the config manager must be cloud attached with Intune, that is co-managed, and must have the following co-managed workload enabled. The workloads are Windows Update Policy workload, Device Configuration workload, and Office Click to Run app workload, either on Pilot Intune or Intune. Now the next prerequisite is the network configuration. So Windows Auto Patch is a cloud service, and there are a set of endpoints that Windows Auto Patch service must be able to reach for the various aspects of the Windows Auto Patch services. We can optimize the network by sending all the trusted Microsoft 365 network requests directly through their firewall or proxy to bypass authentication and all additional packet level inspection or processing. This process reduces latency and perimeter capacity requirement. The proxy or firewall must support TLS 1.2, otherwise you might have to disable the protocol detection. Now the next requirement is to allow the required Windows auto patch endpoints for proxy and firewall role. So to work Windows auto patch properly, we have to add these 4 URLs in allowed list in firewall role. The next prerequisite is related to required Microsoft product endpoints. We need to ensure that the Windows 10 11 Enterprise, including Windows Update for Business, Microsoft 365, Microsoft Azure Active Directory, Microsoft Intune, Microsoft Edge, Microsoft Team, and Windows Update for Business services and their respective URLs are added in the allowed list. Now let's see how we can enroll the tenant in Windows Auto Patch. So before we enroll the tenant in Windows Auto Patch, there are some settings and other parameters we must set ahead of the time. So we must be a global admin to enroll your tenant, and to start using the Windows Auto Patch service, ensure you meet the Windows Auto Patch prerequisite which we already discussed in the previous slides. The online readiness assessment tool help you check your readiness to enroll in Windows Auto Patch for first time. Once you successfully enroll, you will no longer be able to access the online readiness assessment tool again. The readiness assessment tool checks the setting in Microsoft Endpoint Manager, especially Microsoft Intune and Azure Active Directory, to ensure they all are working with Windows Auto Patch. The online readiness assessment tool checking the workload in Configuration Manager necessary for Windows Auto Patch. And the last one, if you do not see the tenant enrollment played in Intune portal, meaning that you do not meet the prerequisite or you do not have the proper license. Now let's talk about the readiness assessment tool and what all settings readiness assessment tool is checking. So readiness assessment tool is checking the Microsoft Intune setting, Azure Active Directory setting, and it is providing the assessment result. So with respect to update rings for Windows 10 and later, readiness assessment tool is checking and verifying that Intune update ring for Windows 10 or later policy does not target to all users or all device, and the policies of this type should not be targeted any Windows Auto Patch devices. It is also checking the unlicensed admin to verify that this setting is enabled to avoid a lack of permission error when we interact with your Azure Active Directory organization. With respect to Azure Active Directory setting, the readiness tool is checking settings related to co-management. This advisory checks only applied if co-management is applied in your tenant. This checks ensure that the proper workload are in place for Windows Auto Patch. If co-management does not apply in your tenant, these checks can be safely disregarded and won't be blocked device deployment. And with respect to licenses, the readiness assessment tools checks that you have obtained the necessary licenses to enable the Windows Auto Patch. After checking the settings in Microsoft Intune as well as in Azure Active Directory, a readiness assessment tool provides the result, and the result is divided into 4 types. The very first one is the ready state, second one is the advisory state, third one is the not ready state, and fourth one is the error. So with respect to ready state, meaning that no action is required before completing the enrollment. And with respect to advisory result, we can complete the enrollment, but we must fix these issues before we deploy your first devices. And we have to follow the steps mentioned in the tool or the article for the best experience with enrollment and for users. With respect to not ready result, we must fix these issues before enrollment. We won't be able to enroll in Windows Auto Patch if we do not fix the issue, and we have to follow the step mentioned in the tool or article to resolve the issue. And with respect to other result, the Active Directory role we are using does not have the sufficient permission to run the checks. So we have to ensure that we have the required permission to run the readiness assessment tool. Now let's see how we can enroll the tenant in Windows Auto Patch. So to enroll the tenant in Windows Auto Patch, we have to go to the Microsoft Endpoint Manager Admin Center portal, and under tenant administration section, we have to go to the Windows Auto Patch section, and then we have to click on tenant administration. And then once we are clicking on tenant administration, we are getting a similar kind of window where it is saying that welcome to Windows Auto Patch, and it's saying that to enroll your tenant, start with the readiness assessment tool, where we have to select this option and click on agree button. After that, we'll get similar kind of window where it is saying that whether we are ready to enroll the tenant in Auto Patch or not. Here we can see that we are not ready to enroll our tenant in Windows Auto Patch, and it is also providing us the detailed information where it is providing us information against which management setting we are not ready. Like in this case, for 2 management setting, we are ready to enroll the tenant in Windows Auto Patch. Once against one setting we are not ready, and against one setting we are getting advisory notification. And if we want to know more about this information, we have to click on view details, and then after clicking on view details, we'll get similar kind of window where it's saying that against 2 management setting we are getting error, and these settings are unlicensed admin and update ring for Windows 10 on later. And against one management setting we are not ready, and this setting is related to licensing part. And against one management setting we are getting a advisory notification, and this is related to co-management. So we have to fix it. Like in the second screenshot, we can see that we have fixed the one management setting which is related to licensing by providing the appropriate license. And if you want to know how to fix these issues, then we have to click on this setting, and then we'll get similar kind of window where it is saying that for unlicensed admin related management setting, we have to perform these actions to fix the issue. And by performing these remediation steps, we can fix the issue related to unlicensed admin. Same thing we have to follow for update rings for Windows 10 and later. Here it is providing the step-by-step instruction how to fix the error related to update ring for Windows 10 and later. And by performing these steps, we can fix the issue related to update ring for Windows 10 and later. So with respect to license related readiness issue, it's providing a reason that you do not have all the license you need to use for Windows Auto Patch, and it is also providing how to remediate and the appropriate link to find what all license is needed for Windows Auto Patch. And by reading this document, we'll fix the license related issue. And with respect to co-management related advisory, it's saying that to successfully enroll in device that are co-managed, it's necessary that the following co-management workload are switched to Intune, and these are device configuration, Windows update policies, and Office 365 client app. And this is also providing how to remediate. By reading this document, we can switch the workload from SSM to Intune. Once we are able to fix all the errors, we are able to see similar kind of status where it is saying that your infra is ready to enroll in Windows Auto Patch, and it is also providing that all the management settings are ready to enroll in Windows Auto Patch, and we just need to click on enroll and start the enrollment of your tenant in Windows Auto Patch. Now let's discuss how we can delete the data collected from the readiness assessment tool. So we can choose to delete the data we collected directly within the readiness assessment tool, and Windows Auto Patch retains the data associated with these checks for 12 months after the last time you ran a check in Azure Active Directory organization. After 12 months, Microsoft retain the data in a de-identified forms. Windows Auto Patch will only delete the results we collect within the readiness assessment tool, and Auto Patch won't delete any other tenant level data. So if we want to delete the data, we have to click on delete the data, and is going to clear all the data. And if we want to rerun the readiness assessment tool again, we just need to click on run check, and then is going to recheck the readiness against all the management setting and provide the readiness state. Now let's see how we can deploy the Windows Auto Patch. So the very first in deploying the Windows Auto Patch is to add and verify the admin contacts. So there are several ways that Windows Auto Patch service communicates with customers. To streamline communication and ensure Microsoft is checking with the right people when we submit a support request, we must provide a set of admin contacts when we onboard the Windows Auto Patch. So Microsoft must have an admin contact for each specified areas of focus. The Windows Auto Patch service engineering team will contact these individuals for assistance with troubleshooting your support request. Admin contact should be the best person or group that can answer questions and make decisions for different areas of focus. Your admin contact will receive notification about support request update and the new messages. So these are the focus area, which includes device as well as the update. The first one is device related, which includes device registration and device health. And with respect to update focus area, which includes Windows quality update, feature update, Microsoft 365 app for enterprise update, Edge update, as well as the Microsoft team updates. Now let's see how we can add and verify the admin contacts. So by selecting the enroll, Microsoft will kick off the enrollment of our tenant to the Windows Auto Patch service. So during the enrollment workflow, we will see the followings. The very first step is the consent workflow to manage your tenant, provide Windows Auto Patch with IT admin contacts, and then setup of Windows Auto Patch service on your tenant. This step is where Microsoft will create the policies, groups, and account necessary to run the services. And last, once these actions are completed, you have now successfully enrolled your tenant in Windows Auto Patch. Now let's see whatever we discussed in the previous slides. So when we are ready to enroll the tenant in Windows Auto Patch, we have to click on enroll the tenant in Windows Auto Patch, and then we'll get similar kind of windows where it is saying that welcome to Windows Auto Patch, and we have to provide the primary admin phone number, email ID, name, and the preferred language, and then we have to click on next, and then we have to provide the second admin contact information, which includes phone number, email ID, name, and the preferred language, and then we have to click on complete. After that, we are getting similar kind of window where it is saying that setting up Windows Auto Patch, and in last we'll get a similar kind of window where it is saying that Windows Auto Patch setup is completed, and we have to click on continue, and we can see similar kind of window which ensure that our tenant is enrolled in Windows Auto Patch. Now let's see what all policies and configurations Windows Auto Patch is creating after enrolling the tenant in Windows Auto Patch service. So the very first change is Windows Auto Patch is creating the multiple groups, approximately 14 groups required for the targeting of feature upgrade and the quality updates. And we can see that we have close to 14 groups, and some of the group membership types are assigned, and for some of them is dynamic group, and these are used for different kinds of deployment. Second thing is that Windows Auto Patch is creating the update ring for deployment. We can see that we have 4 update ring for the deployment. The very first one is your test update ring. Second one is your first update ring, and then fast update ring, and then broad update ring. And based on the update ring also, it's going to differ the quality update as well. Like in case of test update ring, the quality of deferral period is 0. In case of first update policy, the quality update deferral period is 1, and for fast update 6, and for broader update policy it's 9, and for all the feature deferral period is 0. The third thing, Windows Auto Patch is creating a feature update policies for the deployment, and we can see that we have the 4 feature upgrade policy for the deployment, and these are for test, first, fast and broad channel, and 1 feature update policy for Windows 11. After enabling the Windows Auto Patch, we can see that under device section there is one more section added called Windows Auto Patch, and within that section we have device and release management subsection, and where we are going to add the device for auto patch enrollment. And in release management we are able to see this information where it is informing us the Windows quality update related things and the Windows feature update related things, where it is saying that test, first, fast and broad information. Like in this case it is saying that for test the update is available on this date and the targeted completion date is on this date. Similar for first and fast and broad also. With respect to feature update policy, it's saying that the update deployment start from this date and ends on this date. And under release management we can use a pause option to pause our deployment and resume option to resume our pause deployment. Now next thing is that Windows Auto Patch is creating the configuration profile. As we can see that it's creating almost 23 configuration profiles, and these configurations settings are required for smooth functioning of your Windows Auto Patch. We can see that some of the configuration profile types are custom and some of them are setting catalogs. And here we can see that some of the configuration profile is related to your Office update configuration. Some of them are related to your Edge. Some of them are related to your telemetry data setting for Windows 10 and 11. So we will check these settings when we are performing demo part. For now we have to understand that whenever we are going to enable the auto patch in your environment, it's going to create multiple configuration profiles, and all are required to smooth functioning of your Windows Auto Patch service. Now next thing, when we are enabling the Windows Auto Patch, it's going to enable the some of the options for us, like is going to enable the message center for us. It's going to enable the admin contact details for us, and it's support requests and the tenant management. So in message center we'll get the latest update. Like here we can see that it's saying that planned maintenance Windows for auto patch, okay, for the month of November 22. And in admin contacts we can update the context of your admin if there is any change in the admin contacts, or if there is any new admin we have to add, we can add it under this section. In support request, if we want to create any request related to auto patch, we can create a support request with Windows Auto Patch technical team, and then they can work with you to resolve the issues. So the next is the tenant and management blade. If there is any change required for auto patch to smooth functioning, then auto patch service is going to automatically create those changes, and global administrator of the tenant has to approve those changes for smooth functioning of your Windows Auto Patch service. So after adding and verifying the admin contacts in deploying Windows Auto Patch, the second step is device registration in Windows Auto Patch. So Windows Auto Patch must register your existing device into its service to manage update deployments on your behalf. The Windows Auto Patch device registration process is transparent for end users because it does not require device to be reset. You can use Azure AD Global Administrator, Intune Service Administrator, Modern Workplace Intune Administrator, built-in role, in Windows Auto Patch to register your device. So this is the process of Windows Auto Patch device registration, in which IT admin is identifying and add devices or nests other Azure AD device group into the Windows Auto Patch device registration Azure AD group. Then Windows Auto Patch service is performing these steps and enrolling the device in Windows Auto Patch. And these steps are, the very first step is Windows Auto Patch service is performing device readiness, which checks the prerequisites, and then it's calculating the deployment ring for distribution. After that, it is assigning the device to its deployment ring group and then assigning device to other Azure Active Directory group required for management. And last, it is going to mark the device active for management. And after that, IT administrator can monitor the device registration success and update deployment. So after adding and verifying the admin contacts in deploying Windows Auto Patch, the second step is device registration in Windows Auto Patch. So Windows Auto Patch must register your existing device into its service to manage update deployments on your behalf. The Windows Auto Patch device registration process is transparent for end users because it does not require device to be reset. You can use Azure AD Global Administrator, Intune Service Administrator, Modern Workplace Intune Administrator built-in role in Windows Auto Patch to register your device. So this is the process of Windows Auto Patch device registration, in which IT admin is identifying and add devices or nests other Azure AD device group into the Windows Auto Patch device registration Azure AD group. Then Windows Auto Patch service is performing these steps and enrolling the device in Windows Auto Patch. And these steps are, the very first step is Windows Auto Patch service is performing device readiness, which checks the prerequisites, and then it's calculating the deployment ring for distribution. After that, it is assigning the device to its deployment ring group and then assigning device to other Azure Active Directory group required for management. And last, it is going to mark the device active for management. And after that, IT administrator can monitor the device registration success and update deployment. Now let's discuss more about what all prerequisite Windows Auto Patch is checking against each devices to mark readiness as success or failed. The very first prerequisite is checking, does the device have the serial number, model number, or manufacturer. If device is having all these things, it is going to check the next step, which include, does the serial number already exist in Windows Auto Patch. Then third one is checking if the device is Intune managed, and the fourth one is checking whether the device is active in last 28 days. Fifth one is checking whether the device is a Windows device, and the sixth one is checking the operating system is Windows 10 and build version is equal to and greater than 1809. Seventh one is checking the SKU is Enterprise Pro or Pro for workstation. And the next one is checking whether the management agent is mobile device management. If not, then it is going to check whether the device is a co-managed and required workload is shifted on Intune or not. If all are green, that machine is marked as ready for enrollment in Windows Auto Patch. Now let's see how we can register a device in Windows Auto Patch. So before Microsoft can manage your device in Windows Auto Patch, you must have device registered with the service. Windows Auto Patch can take over software update management control of the device that meets software based prerequisites as soon as an IT admin decides to have their tenant managed by the Windows Auto Patch service. Windows Auto Patch software update management scope includes the following software update workload, which includes Windows Quality Update, Windows Feature Update, Microsoft 365 App or Enterprise Update, Microsoft Edge Update, and Microsoft Teams Update. Now let's see what is the use of Azure Active Directory group to register a device. So we must choose what device to manage with Windows Auto Patch by adding them to Windows Auto Patch device registration Azure Active Directory assigned group. Device can be added using the following method. We can use direct membership to add the device in Windows Auto Patch device registration Azure Active Directory group, or nesting other AD enemy or assigned group, or bulk add or import group membership. So Windows Auto Patch automatically runs its discover device function every hour to discover new devices added to this group. Once new devices are discovered, Windows Auto Patch attempts to register the device automatically. Now let's see how we can register a device in Windows Auto Patch. So to register a device in Windows Auto Patch, we have to go to the groups, and under groups we have to go to the Windows Auto Patch device registration group, and then we have to add the device. So we can add the device by direct membership or by bulk import, or even we can add the already existing Azure Active Directory group. Once you add the device in Windows Auto Patch device registration group, device discovery function automatically start adding this group in Windows Auto Patch service, and after that we can see the device in either in ready state or in not ready state or in not registered state. Like here we can see that we added one device and that device is under not registered state, and if we click on this device we'll get more information why this device is not registered in Windows Auto Patch. Here we can see that we have a two reason. The very first reason is the Azure AD Steel device, and the second reason is the device has not checked in with Intune in last 28 days. Now let's talk about the software update management. So with respect to Windows Auto Patch deployment ring, during the tenant enrollment process, Windows Auto Patch creates 4 Azure Active Directory assigned group that are used to segment devices into its deployment rings. Each deployment ring has a set of update deployment policies to control the update rollout. During the device registration process, Windows Auto Patch assigns each device being registered to one of its deployment rings so that the service has a proper representation of the device diversity across the organization in each deployment ring. Deployment ring distribution is designed to release software update deployment to as few devices as possible to get the signals needed to make a quality evaluation of a given update deployment. Now let's talk about some of the key points related to Windows quality updates. So Windows Auto Patch aim is to keep at least 95% of eligible devices on the latest Windows quality update within 21 days after release. Windows Auto Patch deploys the B releases of Windows quality update that are released on the second Tuesday of every month. To release update to a device in a granular manner, Windows Auto Patch deploys a set of mobile device management policies to each update deployment ring to control the rollout. Windows Auto Patch configures these policies differently across update rings to gradually release the update to devices in your estate. Device in the testing ring receives the change first, and device in the broad ring receive the change last. Threat and vulnerability information about a new version of Windows become available on the second Tuesday of each month. Windows Auto Patch assess that information shortly. Afterward, the service determine that it's critical to security, it may be expedited. Windows Auto Patch schedules and deploy required out of band update released outside the normal schedule, and you can review the deployed updates in the release management blade in the Microsoft Endpoint Manager portal. Now let's talk about some of the key points related to Windows feature updates. So Windows Auto Patch aim is to keep at least 99% of eligible devices on a supported version of Windows so that they can continue receiving Windows feature updates. If a device is enrolled and it is below auto patch currently targeted Windows feature update, that device will update to the service target version within 5 days of meeting eligibility criteria. If a device is enrolled and it's on or above the currently target Windows feature update, there won't be any change to the device. Customers are not able to select a target version of their tenant. When releasing a feature update, there are two types of policies that are configured by the service to create the update. First one is the modern workplace DSS policies. That policy used to control the target version of the Windows, and the second policy is modern workplace update policy, and this policy is used to control referral and deadline of the feature and quality updates. To allow customer to test Windows 11 in their environment, there is a separate DSS policies that enables you to test Windows 11 before broadly adopting within your environment. When you add device to the modern workplace Windows 11 pre-release test device group, they will update to the Windows 11. Now let's talk about some of the key points related to Microsoft 365 app for enterprise as well as Microsoft Edge. So with respect to Microsoft 365 apps for enterprise, Windows Auto Patch aim is to keep at least 90% of eligible devices on a supported version of monthly enterprise channel for enterprise standard suites which contain Access, Excel, OneNote, Outlook, PowerPoint and Word. Microsoft 365 apps deployed on the monthly enterprise channel are supported for 2 months. All devices registered for Windows Auto Patch will receive update from the monthly enterprise channel. Device will receive just one update per month on a particular release schedule. Updates are released on the second Tuesday of the month. These updates can include feature, security and quality updates. These updates occur automatically and are pulled directly from Office CDN. With respect to Microsoft Edge, Windows Auto Patch uses the stable channel of Microsoft Edge. Microsoft Edge will check for update every 10 hours. Quality updates occur weekly by default. Feature updates occur automatically every 4 weeks and are rolled out progressively by the Microsoft Edge product group to ensure the best experience for customers. All users will see the update within few days of the initial release, and the last device in the test group receive feature updates from the beta channel, and this channel is fully supported and automatically updated with new features approximately every 4 weeks. Now let's talk about some of the key points related to Microsoft Teams patching. So Windows Auto Patch uses the standard automatic update channel for Microsoft Teams. The Teams desktop client updates are released once a month for all users and twice a month for the member of Technology Adoption Program. Updates undergo vigorous internal testing and are first released to the member of TAP for validation. The update usually takes place on a Monday. If a critical update is needed, Teams will bypass the schedule and release the update as soon as it's available. Teams will check for update every few hours behind the scene, download the updates and wait for the computer to be idle for at least 40 minutes before automatically installing the update. Now let's talk about the deployment ring calculation logic. So the Windows Auto Patch deployment ring calculation happens during the device registration process and it works as follows. So if the Windows Auto Patch tenant existing managed device size is less than or equal to 200, then the deployment ring assignment add the device in the following manner. In the first ring it will add 5% of the device, in fast ring is going to add 15%, and the remaining device will go to the broader ring which contains 80% of the device. And if the Windows Auto Patch tenant existing managed size is more than 200, then the deployment ring assignments add the device in the following manner, which contain 1% in the first ring, 9% in the fast ring, and the remaining device will go to the broader ring which contain 90%. And for the testing, if you have a environment with 500 device, then minimum one device in test group. And if you have an environment between 500 to 5000 devices, then minimum 5 device in the test group. And if you have more than 5000 devices in your environment, then minimum 50 devices will be added in the test group. Now let's see how we can enroll the tenant in Windows Auto Patch. So before enrolling the tenant in Windows Auto Patch, let me show you some of the things like under groups. As you can see that I have only one group. Then under devices, under configuration profiles, we can see that we have only two configuration profile created. And under update ring for Windows 10 and later, I have a one update ring called production update ring. When we are enabling the auto patch service, then it's going to create the update ring for Windows 10 and later. And under feature update for Windows 10 and later, I don't have any feature update deployment. And under quality update for Windows 10 and later, no deployment for quality update. So let's start enrolling the tenant in Windows Auto Patch. So to do that, we have to go to the tenant administration, and under tenant administration, we have to go to the Windows Auto Patch. Under Windows Auto Patch, we have a tenant enrollment option. Under tenant enrollment option, we can see that it's saying that welcome to Windows Auto Patch, and to enroll your tenant, start with the readiness assessment tool and then click on agree. Now we can see that after enabling the tenant enrollment, it's going to check everything, and readiness assessment tool is saying that we are not ready, and it is providing against two management setting we are ready, and against one management setting we are not ready. So we can see that the against two settings we are ready, and for one setting it's advisory. So as I don't have any co-management in my environment, so I'm not going to take care of this advisory part. Now we can see that it's saying that update ring for Windows 10 is not ready, and if you click on this, it's going to tell us how to fix it. It's saying that go to Windows update ring, and then you have to remove the assignments from your all devices and all users. So to fix this update ring related issue, we have to go to the update ring policy, and under production update ring deployment policy, we have to modify the assignments. We have to remove the all users and all devices. And if you want, you can deploy this production update ring to a specific group. For now, I am going to remove these deployments. I'm going to remove the all devices assignments and all user assignments. I am going to save this setting. Now I am again going back to the tenant administration under Windows Auto Patch under tenant enrollment. Then we have to rerun the readiness assessment tool. Now we can see that the tenant is ready, and now we are good to enroll the tenant in Windows Auto Patch. And to enroll the tenant in Windows Auto Patch, we have to click on enroll. Now it's saying that allow administrator access for Microsoft. We have to allow the administrator access for Microsoft, and we have to give Microsoft permission to manage my Azure Active Directory account on my behalf, and then we have to click on agree. Now it's asking me to provide the contact information of primary admin. Now after filling all the required information, we have to click on next, and then we have to provide the secondary admin details. And after filling the secondary admin information, we have to click on complete. Now it's going to create the policy and configuration related to Windows Auto Patch in your tenant. Now we can see that the Windows Auto Patch setup is completed, and we can click on continue. But in background, it's still completing some of the tenant setup related tasks. But we can use the Windows Auto Patch admin portal. Now we can see that our tenant is enrolled in Windows Auto Patch. Now let's see at this point of time what all policies and configuration Windows Auto Patch service created in our tenant. Let's check first what all group Windows Auto Patch is creating. So to do this, we have to go to the groups, and under all groups, now we can see that we have 13 groups. If required, Auto Patch is going to create more groups, and we can see that modern workplace, all groups, modern workplace, Windows 11 pre-release test device group, and then Modern Workplace Device Profile or Windows Auto Patch Group, Modern Workplace All Device Group, Virtual Machine Group, and then Auto Patch Prod Fast First and Test Group, and with a Modern Workplace Role Service Administrator Group. Here we can see that Modern Workplace Role Service Reader Group, and then important group is Windows Auto Patch Device Registration Group. In this group, we have to add the device to register the device in Windows Auto Patch. Now the next setting, we have to check the configuration profiles. To check this, we have to go to the devices, and under devices we have to go to the configuration profiles. We can see that Auto Patch is creating multiple configuration profiles. Before enabling the Windows patch, we have 2 configuration profile. Now we have 27 configuration profiles. The Office Update configuration profile for Broad, Fast, First and Test, and then Windows Update Detection Frequency, MD1 Win over GPO policy, Office configuration policy, Edge Update Channel Beta and the Stable Channel policies, Data collection policy, and then this Modern Workplace Windows Update Detection Frequency policy, telemetry data setting for Windows 10 and Windows 11 policy, and then set MDM to Win over GPO policy, and then Office Update configuration policies for Test 1, Fast. So these are the 25 configuration profiles created by the Windows Auto Patch service when we enabling the Auto Patch in our tenant. If required, Windows Auto Patch is going to create more configuration profile. Now let's see what all policies Auto Patch is creating for Windows 10 and later. So to check this, we have to go to the update ring for Windows 10 and later, and we can see that Windows Auto Patch created 4 update ring policies for Windows 10 and later, where feature differential is 0 for all the policies, but the difference is related to your quality deferral period, wherein test policy the quality deferral period is 0, wherein the first policy the quality deferral period is 1, and fast it's 6, and for broad is 9. With respect to feature update policy, it's created 5 policies for feature upgrade, and all are targeted to 21H2, and these are related to test first, fast and broad, and 1 feature upgrade policy is for Windows 11. Let's see how we can register a device in Windows Auto Patch service. So before registering the device in Windows Auto Patch service, let me show you that in my Windows Auto Patch service under devices, and we can see that we do not have any device showing under ready state. So to register a device in Windows Auto Patch service, we have to add a device in Azure Active Directory group called Windows Auto Patch device registration. Now I'm going to add a device in Windows Auto Patch service. To do this, we have to go to the groups, and under all groups we have to search a group called Windows Auto Patch device registration group, and then we have to add a member in this group. So we can add a device in Windows Auto Patch device registration group in many ways. The first way is to use a bulk operation method. Second way is to use add membership, and here we can search for a specific machine and add that machine, or we can also add already existing group in this group. So now I am using manual method to add test devices in this group. So to do this, I am going to search for my test PC, and then I am going to select all the machines which I want to add in this group. For now, I have selected test PC 1, 2, 3 and 4, and I am going to click on select, and then we have to wait for operation to complete. Now we can see that group membership successfully added, 4 members were added, and we have to refresh it. Now we can see that all the test devices are successfully added in the Windows Auto Patch device registration group. Now we have to go to the devices again, and under Windows Auto Patch we have to go to devices, and now we can see that devices are not showing in ready state. The instruction clearly says that it can take up to an hour for registered device to be appear here. If you want, we can run a discover device action and then click on OK. We have to wait for some time to show those devices under ready, not ready or not registered state to take further actions. Now we can see that after some time test PC 1, 2 and 3 showing under ready state with the status of active, and test PC 4 is showing as not registered. And if you want to know the reason why machine is not registered in AutoPass service, we have to click on that machine and it's going to show the detailed information. And if you want to enroll test PC 4 in Windows AutoPass service, we have to first fix these issues. Now let's see how we can deregister a device from AutoPass service. So to do this, we have to select the device which we want to deregister from AutoPass service. For now, I'm going to select test PC 3 and we have to select a device action, and under device action we have an option called deregister device. We have to click on deregister device and it's going to deregister the device from Windows AutoPass service, and it's saying that device will be removed in just a minute. And now test PC 3 is removed from the Windows AutoPass service. Now let's see how we can add a group in Windows AutoPath service. So to do this, I'm going to click on group, and then under all group, I have already created a group called Windows AutoPatch test group, and in this group I have one machine and the name of machine is test PC3. So to add this group in Windows AutoPath service, we have to go to all groups and then we have to search for the group called Windows AutoPatch device registration group, and then we have to open this group, and then under membership, and then we have to click on add member, and then we have to search for the group called Windows AutoPatch test group which I created for testing purpose. I have to click on this and then select. Now we can see that Windows AutoPatch test group is now added in Windows AutoPatch device registration group. Now let's see how we can move the machine from one assignment group to different assignment group. So by default, when we are adding the device in AutoPatch service and device status is showing as active, AutoPatch service is automatically adding the device in different deployment group based on the number of device in your infrastructure. As we can see that test PC1 and test PC2 device assigned to the first group. If we want to change the group, then we have to select the device which we want to change. We can select a single device as well as a multiple device. For now, I am going to select the test PC1, and then we have to go to device action, and then we have to click on assign device group, and here we have to select the group. We have 5 options: automatic, test, first, fast and broad. Currently my machine in first group. I want to move it to the test group, so we have to click on test and then click on save. Now notification is saying that one device scheduled for assignment to test group. It will take some time, and then after some time this machine is moving from first group to test group. Now after some time we can see that the test PC1 machine is moved from fast to test group. Now before checking end user experience, let's see what will happen when machine is registered in Windows AutoPath service and Windows AutoPath service is going to configure a device for smooth functioning of patch deployment. So the very first location where we can check the configuration changes is under Access Work or School. So I am going to open Access Work or School, and then we have to click on info button. Now we can see that machine is getting many configuration policies so that machine can receive all the required patches. You can see that we have a control policy conflict configuration profile, device health monitoring. Some of them are related to Office and some of them are related to Microsoft Edge, and then some of them are related to security, and one is the main, which is update policy. Same thing we can check under registry also. So let me pull out the registry. Under HKLM software Microsoft policy current and the device, we can see that we have multiple policies applied on the device, control policy conflict, and then device health policy. Some of them are policy related to Office updates, one policy is related to Edge update, and then system update as well as security and update policy.
Now let's see what is the end user experience when they are receiving the Windows Update patch through Windows Auto Patch deployment service. Now we can see that the machine started downloading all the required updates, and we can see that machine started downloading December month cumulative update. Now December month cumulative update for .NET Framework is showing pending for reboot, and it's saying that your organization will restart your device at 1:43 a.m. for finishing the update, or we are getting a notification also. I'm going to restart the device so that we can install the cumulative update. Now after reboot, my machine is up and machine is started installing cumulative update for December month. Now update is installed successfully and it's showing pending for reboot, and I am going to reboot this device. Otherwise Intune is going to reboot this device at 2:09 a.m. to finish updating Windows. I am going to click on restart now. Now machine is up and it is showing up to date against the latest patch. So now let's see how we can check the Windows Auto Patch deployment reports. So to do this, we have to go to the report section, and under reporting section we have to go to the Windows Auto Patch report, and within that we have a Windows quality update report, and we have to click that. And now we can see that we have total 2 devices enroll in Windows Auto Patch service, and out of this one device is showing up to date with the latest patch and one device is showing ineligible. And below we can see that the quality update status report is divided into 3 parts. Very first one is healthy devices, another one is not up to date devices, and the third one is ineligible devices. So healthy devices are the devices which are up to date, or where the deployment is in progress, or if we pause any deployment because of any reason, those devices are considered as healthy devices. And not up to date devices, meaning that where the Microsoft action is required, and these devices includes non-offered, no heartbeat, policy blocking updates, or in progress stuck, or because of any other reason. So if any machine is a part of not up to date status, so Microsoft is going to take the action on those devices and they will fix the issue. Now the third one is the ineligible devices, where customer action is required, and these devices include insufficient uses, low connectivity, out of disk space, not deployed, not on supported Windows edition, or not on supported Windows build, and last one is Intune sync is older than 5 days. So we can see that I have one machine where the Intune sync is older than 5 days. So as an admin, we have to take action on those devices, either by refreshing the policy and investigating why machine is not able to communicate with the Intune. And if you want to find the detailed report, we have to go to the reports, and under this report we have 4 types of reports: all device reports historical, and eligible device report historical, and the ineligible device report historical. And all these 3 historical reports containing the data over the last 90 days. So we are interested in checking the all device report, so I'm going to click on all device report. And now we can see that report is showing 2 devices, PC1 and PC2. Test PC1 is the device where we deployed and installed the latest quality update, and we can see that this machine is a part of test ring group, and the update status of the device is healthy, and the sub status is also showing as up to date. And we can see that the OS version is 19045 and the OS revision version is this. The other one, test PC2, is a part of deployment ring first, and this device is ineligible, and we know that reason why machine is ineligible. I hope this is an informative video for you. Thank you very much for watching this video.